I think that's a great question. Most of the tips and best practices out there today are about new lead generation tactics. The problem is we typically only convert 5 to 10% of our leads into revenue if we are doing well. That means that for every 100 leads, 90 or 95 of them will need to be retouched. This makes sense. Most buyers are not ready to buy your product when you first engage with them. It doesn't mean they will never buy from you. It just means they weren't ready at that time. Yeah, absolutely. And I have a couple best practices and tactics that I recommend. So first, I believe you should connect with your prospects on social networks such as LinkedIn. There are a number of reasons to do this. So for one, your buyers can follow you. So look, a lot of your buyers are not willing to take a call right now. You can continue to market to them via your social profiles. You want to share interesting, helpful content into your social feed multiple times a day, every day. There's a great story about a sales rep who spent a year and a half trying to reach a prospect over phone and email. Then one day he gets a call from the prospect who asked him for a meeting. He goes to the meeting and the buyer says, "I want to talk about this," and he points to a printed version of a blog post he had recently shared. It was the biggest deal that they had that year. The other thing about social is you can follow your buyers. Buyers will often share interesting events or news from their personal and professional lives to their social channels. For example, you might learn of job changes, mergers, and new regulations that cause people and organizations to change priorities. This is a great reason for you to reach out. Or you might find your buyers are asking questions about your product or market. Another way to keep prospects warm is to nurture your unresponsive prospects consistently over time. The truth is, you don't want to let your prospects go cold in the first place. So to keep prospects warm, you want to touch them via email and or phone every 2 to 4 weeks. When you reach out, send them interesting content such as an article, a white paper, or an invitation to an upcoming event. Try to include content from other sources such as analyst reports, market news, or relevant research. By nurturing, you'll be able to build trust and brand over time, so the next time you reach out to talk, your prospects are more likely to believe you are worth talking to. Buyers don't respond to the "I'm just checking in" message. They want you to offer some value, a reason to have a conversation. I have some ideas for you. The first is offer new data or research. One company I was working with had thousands of old leads that hadn't been touched in months. They began re-engaging the old leads by having salespeople call and say, "We never had a chance to talk about what we do. I'd love to set up a meeting." This effort failed. So we changed the message to, "We are releasing new research this week on how companies with XYZ environments are investing 55% in new hybrid cloud solutions. I'd love to share our findings and best practices we discovered." The result, they got 15 new appointments that week. The other thing you can do is share relevant customer success stories. The best way to move a prospect from status quo to engagement is to mention what their competitors are doing. For reaching out to cold prospects, we recommend using a 2-week multi-touch campaign of at least 8 touches for each prospect. One touch will not be enough to re-engage your prospects. It's similar to a campaign to new prospects. Deliver a series of touches in a short amount of time to increase your odds of connecting with them and to develop brand recognition. For example, leave a voicemail and an email within minutes of each other every 2 or 3 days over the course of 2 weeks. Many of our clients have seen higher connection rates on the second and third touches.